Perhaps it's the simple fact that you who just stood or raised your hand uniquely comprehend what this day truly represents. After all, you served, you sacrificed, yet received no welcome home. You did that, and you made a difference. In my life, in the life of Sergeant First Class Curry over there, when we came back, people met us at the airport, and they clapped. And it was because of what you did to say, no, we're not going to put up with this. No longer will the nation do this to those who serve. And we'll be the first ones out there welcoming them. And gradually it gained steam and traction. And now it's commonplace in our airports and our shipyards when we return home. We're greeted by large crowds because of what you did and what you never received. Because of that, you were motivated to change that. So congratulations. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart that when I came home, I received a welcome home, and I thank you because of you. What amazing dedication, right? By hundreds of thousands of Vietnam veterans and all the families involved with Vietnam Veterans of America, Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, Disabled American Veterans, and many other veteran and military service organizations throughout the country. Your efforts to reverse the unfounded prejudice that you encountered following your service was crucial to establishing the positive way in which our soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, guardians, Coast Guardsmen, and National Guardsmen are welcome home today. This shift was essential, especially when considering that since the birth of the U.S., no single generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom by force of arms, including you warriors and heroes that I'm addressing tonight. 42 million American men and women have served and sacrificed in time of war. More than 1 million have safeguarded freedom with their very lives. Their collective service and your individual sacrifice have preserved the treasured concepts embodied in our Constitution. Unfortunately, the specific generation of Vietnam veterans who are counted among this noble company of patriots, you whom we honor this evening, you were not lauded for your service or treated with respect by our citizenry when you returned. You who served during the Vietnam War period returned home to a nation in turmoil, and the vast majority of you received no recognition, no welcome home cheers by friends, and no ceremonies hosted by your communities. In fact, you who had chosen to honor the nation's call were encouraged to travel home in civilian clothes due to the unrest in our country, and in many cases, sheer disdain for those who served. Tonight, we commit to right that wrong for the Vietnam veterans among us. Since retiring, I've been privileged to develop strategies and public engagement initiatives that guide the commemoration efforts to thank and honor America's 7 million Vietnam veterans living in America and abroad today. 7 million who served during that 20-year period, between 1955 and 1975. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I am here at the wonderful invitation of the Twin Tiers Honor Flight and Mr. Tom Tate, basically to testify to you all of the honor which you have received and the prominence that you now hold in the fabric of this nation, and to pay tribute to the memories of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice during the Vietnam War. This national commemoration was authorized by Congress, established under the Secretary of Defense, and launched by the President in 2012. Its primary purpose: to thank and honor Vietnam veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Welcome home. Seemingly simple words, yet with a remarkable power to uplift and to heal. Those words were repeated often by the Honorable Barack Obama during the inaugural event of this commemoration in 2012 at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, where you visited today in Washington, D.C. The 44th President of the United States also spoke these words, and I quote, "And one of the most painful chapters in our history was Vietnam. Most particularly how we treated our troops who served there. You were often blamed for a war you didn't start, when you should have been commended for serving your country with valor. You were sometimes blamed for the misdeeds of a few, when the honorable service of the many should have been praised. You came home and often were denigrated when you should have been celebrated. It was a national shame, a disgrace that never should have happened. And that's why here today we resolve that it will not happen again, unquote. For those who may not be aware, under the pen of our 45th U.S. President, Donald Trump, the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017 established the 29th of March in perpetuity as a national day to recognize the previously unsung patriotism of our Vietnam veterans. So National Vietnam War Veterans Day joined the 6 other annual military-centric national observances codified in law. Among them, Memorial Day, Independence Day, and Veterans Day. National Vietnam War Veterans Day now stands proudly beside it. Mr. Trump also issued a presidential proclamation in 2017 which stated, and I quote, "Throughout this commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War and every March 29th thereafter, we will honor all those who answered our nation's call to duty. We vow to never again confuse personal disapproval of the war with prejudice against those who honorably wear the uniform of our armed forces. With conviction, our nation pledges its unending respect, our continuing care, and our everlasting covenant and commitment to all Vietnam veterans."